I think we just won the lottery, gents. Let's get ourselves into the hay farm for the first time in a hot minute and get rolling. If you can't tell, we got almost $250,000, and that is because I did not know what the pricing system on this map was going to be. So when Dave sold off all of our crop, that was over $216,000. That is insane. So we're going to put that money to good use. I haven't skipped ahead in time at all because I still want to buy this slurry spreader. There's just one problem. We don't have a tractor that can pull it other than the Caterpillar 45. And I don't know if the 8100 has the guts to do the job. And the only real tractors that I got that might have the power, but most importantly, the weight to tug that thing would be the 920 series, the K Steigers, or quite possibly a Big Bud. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Right now, all we have to worry about is getting this baling done so we can start working on updating that system. If you guys do find yourself enjoying the hay farm and would love to see more, you gotta head down below, smash that like button, consider subscribing. We did start working on the soybean straw bales. Probably will not do all of them, but the 4250 did finally make its way back onto the baler, and that is because we finally finished mowing this entire grass plot. The biggest tool I really want to invest in is a bigger rake and a more efficient mowing system. The hay bine is fine, don't get me wrong. We invested in a Heston Swather, the one that has the crimper built in, and we're just dropping straight hay. All we need is a tractor that could run the rake, and we would be in business. I'm also thinking about upgrading the baling system with a newer Vermeer, but the lingerings of a John Deere square baler are still haunting me in the back of my head. Square bales are obviously easier to work with, but I have like 3 trailers on this farm that are all meant to load round bales. So if we sell off the round baler, we might as well sell off all of our bale trailers. I really got to compliment that baler on its efficiency. The last bale that came out of the back was the exact, it was literally right at the end. It was beautiful. 54 bales later, and I don't think that's counting the first section. We never did that. But while we finished up baling, I sent Andy out with the Caterpillar to go and pick up the slurry spreader. Somebody let me know in the comments section. I would think you could run a tractor through turf with one of those. I've just never done it, / to me it seems like you would just destroy the ground. Maybe I'm completely wrong, but if we are able to do that, then we could just use the Caterpillar. And this trailer's a little bit weird because I kind of have to load them onto the side, but I think the bales are just a little bit too wide. Is that Andy? Yep, that would be Andy. That was quick. So for either the second or third time in this series, we might have to swap the bale trailer. I just cannot seem to find a bale trailer that will work nicely. Who knows? Maybe today will be the day of investments and innovation and this farm is just going to take off. Buck goes to square barrels, the next thing you know, he's a billionaire. The nice thing about the Chevy's trailer is that even though I can't fit maybe all of the bales I want on it, it at least fits and it stacks nice. So if I do stick with round bales, I will at least keep that trailer. The only thing I really despise about this field the most is just how big it is. That's why I'm hoping once we get the Heston, I could just set an AI worker and just let the mower go so it can finish the plot in one sitting. With that trailer now full, let's just get everything taken back to the house. Could I probably fit another set between the back one and the middle set? Yes, but I didn't really want to push it. I don't know exactly if we're going to get to any straw baling today, but the cows are doing good. Since we've found out how to make a proper food ratio, our feed has been through the roof, and our straw has also went up because I have officially been stockpiling more straw bales into the bedding system. The last thing we need to technically get started on is our tillage situation. And the sunflower was ready to go, but it was on the Caterpillar, which is what I sent Andy to go get the GEA with. Hopefully we can get that started this afternoon. Just kind of depends on how the schedule works. I'll set this up in the next section so loading is a little bit easier. Feels like the old days on the Griffin, Indiana series. And then Nate spoiled me in the new hay farm series where we use that auto load trailer, and it's never felt the same. I went ahead and sold that Hay King. There's nothing wrong with it, but I got the wrong size bales to be using that kind of a trailer. So for the meantime, before we decide what we're going to do, whether we buy a new round bale trailer or we end up swapping to square bales, I just threw some ratchet straps on the hay rack, and that is what we're going to use for now. for those that like to play the hay game, are you somebody who does interior loading or exterior loading? I still love when I load bales like this to do it in first person. It obviously feels more realistic. But two, I feel you actually learn how to properly do this. Farm Sims bale physics obviously are not anywhere near what real life's do, but for the sake of practice, I think it has a really good real-world application. I'm not exactly sure what these axles are rated to hold on the running gears, but I honestly feel we could put 8, 10 bales on this. Oh, easy 10. Let's maybe tune you guys into 3,800 the buck while I get the remainder of these bales loaded up. That'd be kind of fun. Never done a time lapse with bales before.
I'm feeling like a small fish in a big pond. I think I'll go back where I came from, where everybody knows my name. My friends are still the same. I guess the slow life hit me just right, like a bonfire on a cold night. Hell, and you can keep your 9 to 5. Happy with the simple life.
It was going so well. Come on, man. All better. It was going so well. And then everything just fell apart in 3 seconds. Story of my life sometimes. I should shuttle everything up to the north side. That's really where all the rest of the bales are. The one thing I am curious about is how much would this rack of hay sell for? Whatever bales we still have left after we load probably this trailer up again and fill the remainder of that trailer, we'll just take those bales into market. Now, will this take them? Yes, it will. Oh, they're falling. Really must work because it's taking them by the bunch. There we go. Yeah, 250,000 capacity. We have less than 100,000 left, so we might start cycling through that more when we make more cattle feed. This shouldn't take too long. I'm gonna go take a look at that Heston, see if we can have it shipped in by this afternoon, and then hopefully we will be done with hay work for the season. As much as I'd love to be making this up, I'm not. This fills up the wagons. Exactly. Full to the brim. There's no leftovers. Maybe if I'm lucky, the swather will not cost nearly as much money as I thought it would, and that'll save me even more money and make the day even more perfect. But I highly doubt that. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Newton's law does not lie, nor does it ever miss. Please be cheap. Please be cheap. Please be cheap. It's not bad, but that price tag hurts. Anything, and I mean anything in here. Okay. The fact that we're buying this thing with an actual working crimper and it'll dry, that saves me having to buy the tedder. So it's kind of a win-win, but still, man, that is an ouchie. Swather drives really, really nicely. The only thing I want to do is get a test cut to see how well the crimper works on the back to make sure that it is going to drop the hay that I want, because if it doesn't, then we just wasted $125,000. The Caterpillar will go back on the Sunflower to get started here in about 20 minutes. We're also going to head into the shop and start getting the 8100 cleaned off with Andy Clean. If you haven't heard of this stuff, you gotta look it up. My buddy Andy actually makes the world's greatest tractor soap. It's called Andy Clean. I'll be with Andy at Farm Progress next week. If you guys want to head to that show, stop by, say hello. If you can't make it, that is completely all right. But for those that will make it out to the show, I'm excited to see you or reunite with you. Moment of truth. Did we save ourselves a lot of hassle, or did we just screw ourselves even more? That hay? It looks like hay. I'm going to say it is. That way I can feel better about myself. Would you take a look at that yield monitor? You'd think with the amount of bales we pulled out of that whole thing would have been green. But nope. And we can't even buy any sort of field data for this because there is no field here. We technically made a plot. So that raises my next question. Hypothetically, will this allow me to run an AI worker? Oh, that poor worker when he actually has to do this. That is gonna suck. Good thing that's a problem for next season. Now we just got to be on the lookout for a rake to bring it all together. As the Farm King, I sold that off. It worked great as a tedder windrower, but the windrower part sometimes was questionable. Gonna clean this thing off, and we'll see you guys over in the cat. The only thing that would make this Sunflower better is if it had rolling baskets on the back. Honestly, not bad of a layout. I think we'll just stick with it. Let's get this lined up. And let's rip. There was still quite a bit of straw left over from the cornstalk bales. The one hassle that I have with the New Holland is that its pickup isn't wide enough to pick up the swaths that were coming out of the back of Dave's combine. Yes, I'm losing product, but we have the entire field of beans if we wanted to get more. And somebody finally told me it's the realistic weather mod that had all of these dead patches in the ground. Whether I get rid of that, I'm not certain, because I kind of do like it from a realistic standard, but it's going to be hard to keep up with the amount of moisture these crops are going to need if you don't have an irrigation pivot running 24/7. For Nebraska series, I most certainly am going to run that mod because of the fact that we basically rely on pivots out here if you want anything above 180 bushel corn. That's just a fact. What I'm excited for is once this field is cultivated, how clean it is going to look. I know I don't hypothetically need another tractor since this is the first time this one's been used in probably a couple months, but anytime we start getting higher horsepower implements, it's going to be pretty stretched if we have to have this thing to do almost everything. The 8100, it's got some guts, but I'd probably want to have at least an 84 or an 8300 to be doing work like this. If you have any ideas on tractors we should probably look into to add to the fleet, feel free to leave those down below. Just remember, we are on a tight budget. I think we'll get Daryl back in the cab once we get back to the farmyard. I still have some chopping left to do around the map, so we might get the International back over on the far left corner of the map to finish out that plot. But otherwise, I think we're technically done. And while cattle feed could be made, we're pretty much fine for the meantime. I'm gonna need a miracle if we're gonna get this field done right. You might be able to tell who's driving. I haven't done this for a little bit, so let's just see if I can get my AI workers to do what I used to do. Aha! Me turn around. And then as he starts working, now we start reshuffling him. Yeah! Not super smooth, but I'll take it. That's going to be all we have for you guys today on the Bucked Up Hay Farm. Thank you so much for tuning in. It probably is a little shorter than I expected, but we really are getting some of the most crucial tasks done that are going to put our farm on the fast track to success in the years to come. If you'd like to see the playlist grow over time, you got to check out that link at the top right-hand corner of your screen. Other than that, make sure to keep it light, keep it loose, keep it fresh, and most importantly, keep it fun. We shall see you guys all in the next one. This is the Rental Man out. Peace.